let's talk about the big news. The big news. Orqa acquired ImmersionRC. Is it true? Yes, it's true. They made an announcement. Why? I mean, they announced it. So yes, it's true. What are your thoughts? I mean, they have been partnered together for a long time. Orqa has been doing primary fulfillment for ImmersionRC products in Europe. So basically, ImmersionRC has been run out of the Orqa warehouse. They've been like the premier distributor. So, I mean, I could kind of see this coming. They've been sort of buddies for a while. Ghost, Rapid Fire went in the Orqa goggles. That's sort of like the default module to come with the Orqa goggles. So they've been sort of flirting with each other for a while, kind of like how I'm flirting with Jason Momoa earlier. So they've been flirting with each other for a little while, and now they've finally consummated the relationship. They're married. You know, so yeah. What are your thoughts? I mean, ImmersionRC it feels like ImmersionRC, but like originally they were heavily partnered with Fat Shark. In fact, when I went to Shenzhen it was probably around 2018, I think. I'd have to go back and look. When I went to Shenzhen and visited the Fat Shark facility, they invited me out there to do a little travel vlog and help tell the story of why their goggles didn't have a power button yet. I went out there and they graciously showed me all around their factory and their, manufacturing and so forth. ImmersionRC was in the same building. Like Tony Cake was out there. He happens to be in China at the time for whatever reason. And literally on one side of the room was a Fat Shark engineer, and on the other side of the room, Tony Cake had a desk and a station. So they were. I've always said they were sister companies. I don't think they were officially in any way the same company, but if you work out of the same building, you certainly are working closely together. And for example, ImmersionRC did the work on the Fat Shark DVR, I believe is true. So it's nothing new that ImmersionRC is working closely with a goggle manufacturer. There are some ways, I think, in which this partnership is a little different. I think that Orqa has broader capability to help with design and manufacturing than Fat Shark did. I think that Orqa has a much deeper bench of engineering resources. Not that necessarily Tony Cake Tony Cake is himself an exemplary engineer. I say that because I've had phone calls with Tony, and, he's just sitting there in his lab with his oscilloscope and his soldering iron, and just, you talk to him about the technology. You ever had the situation where somebody comes to show you their new product, and it's pretty clear that who you're talking to is like a project manager, and you ask them an engineering question and they kind of don't know the answer, or maybe they mealy mouth it a little bit, or maybe they say, hold on, I've got the engineer here, you can talk to them. Tony Cake, not like any of that. Tony Cake, the owner of ImmersionRC, in case you don't know him by name, he is an engineer at heart. So I say that because when I say that Orqa has a deeper engineering bench than Fat Shark, at the end of the day, Fat Shark feels to me like a man. They design a product and they know their market, but ultimately they don't have massive engineering resources. They assemble products from existing stuff. And that's not to say that that's trivial. Lots of companies do that badly, and Fat Shark does it really well. They design, like, what did Fat Shark design about their goggles? What did they invent? The shell. Somebody designed the shell for them. They buy the optic modules and they put the optic modules in there. So there was some design that went into the power board, for example, the DVR board. And I'm going to guess that Tony Cake did that design, for the record. I don't know that for a fact. So I think that ImmersionRC has a bright future with Orqa. I think that the things that Tony Cake is capable of doing, he needs a platform to do them, because a rapid fire module is no good without goggles to put it in. And a ghost module, a ghost receiver is no good without a quad to put it in or something else. And I think it's going to be really good. So very exciting. We shall see. We shall see is the bottom line. Okay, great question. Great question. Here's the flip side of that, though. Okay, now I've sort of said nice things about everybody. Here's the flip side of that, though. What am I looking for? There we go. Got it. Why does this controller have ghosted? Hey! Why does this controller have Ghost in it and not Express LRS? Some people have asked. And the answer is, obviously, that ImmersionRC and Orqa are partners or sister companies or whatever you want to call it. And so from a business standpoint, it makes sense to promote each other's products. So if there is a weakness in the partnership, it will be that when you combine your assets, you also combine your liabilities. And there may be opportunities that ImmersionRC could take advantage of if they were not partnered, that they will not be able to take advantage of because it doesn't make sense for Orqa, where it might make sense for ImmersionRC. Now, I obviously, they feel that the positives are offset by the potential negatives, or they wouldn't have done it. That doesn't necessarily mean that what they're going to come up with is what's best for you or me, the actual customer. I mean, theoretically, what's best for the customer is also what's good for the company. But then sometimes what's best for the company, the customer looks at and goes, really? Interesting choice.